New Monday morning. I've got my gal in the back, Kaylee. She's going to be modeling this class for us. Today, I thought we would go ahead and do some moon salutations. We don't do moon salutations as commonly as we do sun salutations. As the name would imply, sun salutations are a great way to wake up in the morning, to get out of bed and kind of greet the day, salute the sun. And a moon salutation is a little bit more of a lower, slower flow. It's not quite as energizing. But I figure here during this time of days blurring together and schedules changing based off of whatever you want them to be. Why not do a moon salutation at 9:15 in the morning? It makes perfect sense. So, hey Sarah, it's good to see you this morning. I hope that you are able to enjoy this flow. I'm going to pop out of the way and sit close enough so that the audio works well for everybody. But just know that we're in for a little bit of a slightly different type of practice today because it is going to be a moon salutation centered flow. Hey Debbie, it's good to see you this morning. I hope you are doing well as well. So I'm going to just pop out of the way and get a little bit of light music going. Here we go. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get started with some breath and centering. So if you just want to come on into your most comfortable seated space, begin to just notice how you're feeling this morning. What thoughts might be moving present in your mind? Become a little bit more mindful of things that right now aren't necessary, that you could let go of. And then begin to bring your thought and focus onto something that you want to invite more of. Embracing this time that we've set aside for this hour as time that we're going to check in with ourselves. Notice how you're feeling in your physical body. Notice how you're feeling in the mind, the heart. And let that be a guide for you throughout this practice. Give yourself permission to push further when that feels good, but also give yourself permission to pull back when that makes sense. And then on your next inhale, you can circle sweep the arms up, bringing hands together at the heart center. Pausing for just a final moment to set and seal this intention. Breathing deeply. Exhaling completely. And then on your next inhale, let's begin to add some movement to our practice. Let's sweep the arms up nice and high. And as you exhale, lean to the right side, bringing your right hand to the floor and just opening up the left side body. You can rock the shoulders slightly forward and back. Just feel as though you're twisting the torso. And then inhale, come on up. And exhale to the other side. So rock the shoulder, yes, forward and back, just like that. Feel as though you're spinning the heart to look towards the ceiling and forward towards the floor, keeping the bottom hand light. And then slowly come on back up, reaching both arms high. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Begin to drift from side to side. We're going to keep the left fingertips to the mat and wrap your right arm around your back. Maybe reaching it around towards the opposite hip, however far it may go. Pausing for just a moment, breathing deeply. Then slowly releasing one hand and begin to wrap the opposite around your back. These sides may not match. One side might do things that the other is not willing. And then unwrapping both arms, reaching fingertips forward towards the front of the room. Inhale, come on up. And let's bring arms out like cactus arms and just pull back through the elbows. Lift the gaze, lift the chin. Maybe feel your heart is opened wide on the front of the body. And then reaching arms back up, we're going to add a twist. Bringing your left hand to the right thigh. And then inhale, coming back up, and we'll twist to the other side. Feel long through the spine, feel engaged through the tummy, feel everything just winding around. And then inhale, come on up. And let's bring hands to the heart center. So here I'm going to have you bring the feet out towards the front edge of your mat, slightly wide. And then reaching both arms up and rotate just enough towards the right foot and reach out towards the foot, the ankle, the calf. Taking your right arm around your back. Add that little twist, similar to where we were just a moment ago. And then bringing the right hand back. Inhale, come up, reach towards the ceiling, turn towards the opposite foot and reach out. And we can then wrap the arm around the back. And again, just hang out here. If it feels good, celebrate that it feels good. If it feels tight, breathe into the tightness, trying to loosen things up. Unwrapping the arms, reaching them both forward. Inhale, come on up. And then exhale, bringing hands down to the floor. And again, just rocking from side to side. And then reaching fingertips forward. Inhale, reaching fingertips up. And exhale, bringing them to the heart center. Samastihi. We're going to then begin to bend the knees, swish the legs from side to side. Now, one of the things about a moon salutation is that it does feel a lot more open in the hips than a sun salutation does. So with hands pressed down to the floor and feet pressed into the mat, we're just slowly going to push down through hands and feet, lift those hips up, and then come on back down. And we can do that a total of 3 times. Yes, there we go. And then finally, once more, lifting those hips up and coming down. And then we're going to begin to press on up and come to standing. So however it works best for you to get there. Now, please do forgive me because I do not teach moon salutations as often as I teach sun salutations. So they're not as top of mind as the moon salutation is. If you want to come to the top edge of your mat, and for today, stand sideways on your mat so that you are looking at the long end rather than the short end. Bring the feet close. So you were right. Just like that. Perfect. Yes. So we'll bring the feet close together. Begin to press down through all 4 points of the feet. So find your Tadasana, roll the shoulders back, press all the way down from the shoulders through the elbows, the wrists, out to 10 fingers. And then feel from the soles of your feet that you're drawing up through the ankles, through the low leg muscles, through the knees, through the thighs. Find that the hips and the pelvis feel as though they're in a neutral place. If we picture the top of the pelvis like a bowl, that the ridges of the bowl are level from the front where your pubic bone is to the right hip, the tailbone, the left hip and back, that's one level rim of the bowl. Engage the tummy, lengthen the spine, hold the head high, lift the heart high, and then on the inhale, sweep the arms up overhead and we'll create steeple mudra, which is your 2 pointer fingers looking up. And as you exhale, lean to the right side. And just pause for a moment here in this crescent moon stretch. All of that same energy we just created from the soles of the feet, all the way up both of the legs, through the side body, all the way up through the arms to the fingers, all of that still exists. Inhale, we'll stand up tall, and we're going to step the right foot out and coming into a goddess squat. So 10 toes can look towards the front of the room for right now. Arms will come up and we'll create those cactus arms. So we won't move into the full goddess squat just yet. Toes could turn out a little bit, but we don't have to push down too far. And then on an inhale, lift on up, turning the right toes towards the back edge of the mat so you're set up for a triangle pose. And then begin to lengthen the arms out like the letter T. Hinge the hips and tip over for triangle. Yes, just like that. Now for triangle, you might use a block. Your hand could come down to the low half of your leg. It could come down to the floor. I want you to really focus on the long line of your side body while you're here. Now from this triangle, slowly begin to bring both hands to the floor. You can adjust the back foot so you're in a pyramid pose. In pyramid pose, there will still be a check mark of the back foot. But now rather than hips looking to the side of the room, hips are looking somewhat down towards the mat. Let your head relax, your neck relax. And then from this pyramid pose, go ahead and turn that back foot all the way forward so you're in a low lunge and press slowly a little bit more deep towards the front low edge of your mat. Perfect. Breathing here, and then we're going to step the back foot forward, coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. And inhale, open the arms wide, rise all the way up, bringing hands to the heart center. Perfect. Now, each time we go through the next round of this moon salutation, we're going to add more to it. So inhale, reaching arms up, creating steeple mudra, leaning this time to the left side. Pausing for just a moment, hold the head like a picture in a picture frame between the arms. Inhale, come on up, and then we'll step out and into that goddess squat. So taking the feet away from each other, pulling the arms out towards cactus arms, so we would be sideways on the mat. And pressing down. Begin to straighten the legs, reach the arms out like the letter T, turning the left toes towards the short end of the mat, leaning out, so turn your toes. And then lean out into a triangle pose. All the hips popped for triangle pose. And we breathe here. Feel the long line of the body, and maybe notice that the heart and the belly button are looking sideways in triangle. And then we're going to move into pyramid pose, where you can bring both arms down, adjust the back foot, so now your heart and belly button are looking down and towards the floor in a pyramid. Remind yourself often that we can let go of the effort it takes to hold up our heads, which does feel weird. We're very used to lifting the heads, looking around, seeing what's going on. Begin now to bring the back foot to turn forward and then lunge deeply into the front knee, exactly like that, coming into your lunge. Breathing here for just a few moments. Feel a long line of the back that comes from the heel of the foot right on up to the crown of the head, and we can always use blocks. If you feel unsteady, you can always bring the back knee down for another touch point of support. And then we're going to step the back foot forward and fold. Inhale, opening the arms, rise on up. And we'll bring hands to the heart center. So that's the first round of a moon salutation. So that's the first round of a moon salutation, and we're going to slowly add on to that. And each time you'll feel that it gets a little bit more hip intensive. So bringing the feet to face forward, finding your Tadasana. Engage all the way down. Feel that this is an energetic place to be. Hold the head up high. Eyes could be opened or closed. On your inhale, sweep the arms up. Bring the hands together, steeple mudra. Lean towards the right side. So still feel as though you're lifting up, lifting out, that there's a great big rising up to the points of those fingers. Coming back from your crescent moon stretch, step out and move into a goddess squat. This time, allow your toes to turn out a little bit more as you bend the knees, bend the elbows, cactus arms while you're here. So in a goddess squat, I want you to feel the length of your spine as though you're extending the tailbone straight down into a plumb line towards the floor. Straightening the legs, extend the arms like the letter T. We're going to move into triangle pose. So the back toes will turn to the long edge of the mat, and the front toes will turn to the short end. And then we'll hinge from the hips, push the body out. And as you feel the length of your legs, the length of your side body, the length of your arms, breathe deeply. Beginning to move into a pyramid pose, bringing both hands down to the floor. Adjust the back foot so it might step in closer. The angle's going to change. And the belly button and the chest are now going to be looking down towards the floor. We'll move into the lunge, so begin to turn the back toes forward, bend the front knee. So we're coming into our low lunge, and this time we're adding on. So we're going to add on a side lunge. Bring your fingertips towards the front of your mat, and we're going to continue to bend into the right knee as you lengthen the left. So you're and we're just going to pause, breathe, and here with this side lunge, you're going to feel the inside of the thigh is being lengthened and stretched a little bit more. And then we're going to move through a malasana, so come on up and begin to shift the weight over and into a side lunge on the other side. Now your foot could either be down, flat to the floor with all 5 toes connected, or you could turn those toes up so you're on just the heel of your long leg foot. On the heel. Yeah. So you just want to make sure that you're keeping the knee and the hip feeling good. And then we're going to turn to a lunge, so now you're going to be facing the opposite direction. Just like that, keep bending the knee. All 10 toes are going to face the same side. Yes. And then from this lunge, we're going to move back to a pyramid. So step the back foot forward just a little bit and straighten the front leg. You got that. And pause in this pyramid pose. And from pyramid, we're going to move up into a variation of triangle. So begin to extend your arm up towards the ceiling, keeping front hand and front foot close to the floor block or wherever they were. And just feel that here in pyramid pose, you've begun to open the body towards the side of the room rather than keeping it down towards the floor. And now from pyramid, this time I'm going to have you pull up and we'll move back to a goddess squat. So lift up, adjusting your toes, bending both knees, creating cactus arms. Beautiful. And then inhale, coming up, we're going to step the feet together. Bring the hands up high, 10 toes will look forward, and you're going to lean this time to the opposite side wall to the left. Inhale, come on up. We're going to step out into goddess squat. Bending through the knees, turning out through the toes. Now, if your feet are feeling as though they're sliding away from you, you don't feel as though you've got a whole lot of control, you can always bring those heels closer together. You don't have to have a super wide stance in your goddess squat. Straightening the legs, you're going to go to triangle towards the right side. Tipping over, yeah. And maybe you feel with each new time that we come back to a pose you've seen already, that it feels a little bit different. Maybe you start to notice that they feel more familiar, more confident, or even more comfortable. We're going to move into pyramid, bringing both arms down. Make a small change in the back foot like a check mark. Belly button and chest is looking down towards the floor, whether you're using blocks, the mat, or floating those hands. And then begin to move into your low lunge. Bend the front knee as you adjust the back foot so you feel as though you're slowly easing forward and down. And then from your low lunge, side lunge, walking your fingers towards the inside of the front foot and turning the 10 toes. Beautiful. Now here, if side lunge feels like a place that is comfortable for you, hands could stay on the floor, but you could also bring them to the heart center. And that's just completely and totally an option you do not have to take. We're going to slide through the center and over to side lunge on the opposite side. Perfect. And just breathe here. So if we're feeling tension, resistance, notice that. However, if you're feeling pain and something that could not be good, come on out of it. Begin to bring fingertips back to the floor and turn to your lunge in the opposite direction. Making adjustments, all this fancy footwork and moon salutations. And then we'll slide into a pyramid. So it's going to adjust your back foot, bring it slowly more forward. Check mark the foot, squaring hips, lengthening legs. You got it. Breathe in. And then we're going to move to one last triangle, taking your inside arm up towards the ceiling. Keeping the hands at the same side as your front foot, down on either a floor, a block, or floating. And then lifting up, we'll move into one final goddess squat. Adjust the feet so toes turn out, bend the knees, cactus arms. Eyes here. And then straightening up from goddess squat, we're going to step feet together, bring hands up overhead, and take your very last crescent stretch towards the side wall. Beautiful. And then slowly come on back, bringing hands to the heart. And that will be the close of our moon salutations. If from here you'd like to face the front edge of your mat like you would in your typical yoga classes, we can do that. All right, bring hands back to the heart center, bring a small bend into the knees, and gently step out through the right foot. Come on up and into a warrior two. So open everything nice and wide. Feel your body opens up. So your hips open and the arms are nice and long. Here we're going to inhale, stand nice and tall, straighten the front leg, turn the 10 toes, and fold for prasarita. Prasarita, forward fold. Now in your prasarita forward fold, begin to walk your hands out towards the edges of your feet. And if your hands and feet are able to connect with one another, grab the outer edges of your feet, tuck the fingers underneath those outer edges, and begin to pull with a little bit of strength from your arms into a deeper forward fold. And maybe your elbows bend a little bit here if there's a lot of mobility in your forward fold. Now on an inhale, release the feet, spread the arms out wide, come all the way back up. Turn back into a warrior two, the same one you started with. And then from that warrior two, we're going to bring hand over hand to the floor. And we're going to step out and come all the way down onto your belly. So step the back foot, or step the front foot back and lower down onto your belly. We're going to bring the elbows forward beneath the shoulders. So you're setting up for a Sphinx pose. Fingertips might be off the edge of your mat in front of you. And then begin to peel up away from the floor, letting the long bone of your upper arm support you. So maybe bring those elbows just a little bit more forward so that the long bone of your upper arm is a vertical line, it's a column. Feel the heart is broad, the chest is wide open, and maybe the gaze lifts up, lengthening the back of the neck. Take one more deep breath in, and then slowly come on down, and let's rest for a moment. Then we're going to do a second Sphinx pose. So keeping the elbows stacked beneath the shoulders, begin to peel up, lifting the heart, lifting the chest, creating some extension in the spine. Feel that the legs are still active while we're here. Take a deep breath in, and then slowly come back down and pause for a moment. Now, options that you'd like, if you want to press back through a tabletop, maybe press back into a child's pose, perhaps press back and lift up into a downward facing dog. Ultimately, we're going to come all the way back up to the front edge of your mat. However, it makes the most sense for you to get there. And you can bring hands to the heart. We're softly bending to the knees, this time stepping out with the left foot coming into warrior two. So front toes will still face forward, back toes will look out like a letter L or a letter T. Hold the head up high. Hug everything into the mid-center of the body. So feel as though you're bringing your belly, your back, your left and right side all cinching closer together. Pausing for just a few more rounds of breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. One more breath in. And as you exhale, hand over hand to the mat, we're going to step on out through your high plank and all the way down onto your belly. And this time, let's slide the arms down by your side. Palms can be face up just like that. Zip the legs up, bring them closer together. And then, still peeling up from the muscles of the back, begin to lift from the spine, lifting head, chest, shoulders, reaching fingertips out. Hands might stay low on the mat, but they might also lift up away from the floor. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, come on down. and relax. You could look to the left or right side. So this pose we're going to do a total of 3 times. The next 2 times we'll offer the option of binding, so bringing your hands together behind you. Let's start with the bind first. Bring the hands up behind your back, lacing up the fingers, so maybe your right thumb is on top. Just notice which one prefers that. And then begin again to peel from your back, lifting up from the back, the chest, the shoulders. Hands might stay low on your bottom, or they might lift up away from your back side. And if the binding does not feel great in your shoulders, you could do this by holding a strap or a towel between your hands, or you could continue to work unbound. Take one more breath, and then slowly come back down. Resting the head, taking a moment to pause. And then one last time, we're going to bring hands together, this time crawling the left thumb to the top of the pile or opposite of where you were last time. Take your deep breath in, and as you begin to squeeze and engage those muscles, lift up off the floor, peeling. Hands could stay low to your back, they could lift up. Feet could stay low to the floor, or they could lift up if you want to move into a fuller expression of a bound locust pose. And again, we're just going to breathe in, out, one more inhale, and then slowly exhale, come on down. Taking your option of a tabletop, a child's pose, a downward facing dog, and eventually we'll meet up at the front edge of the mat. I'm going to do just a balancing series. Inhale, open arms and bring them back to the heart center. So a lot of what we've worked on today has been great hip movement. We've also done a lot of great back extension. So our balance today is going to be a dancer's pose, and we'll practice it 2 times on each side. So if you want to bring your arms up towards the ceiling, bring your right elbow to your right hip, and then reach back, take hold of the right foot. And if you can, hold on the inside edge of the foot. Now for a lot of us, our option might be here to try to draw those knees back together, which is going to help keep the hips squared forward. And if you feel good in the balance and you want to move forward, begin to kick back right foot into the right hand and reach out left arm towards the front of the room. So you're at the same time leaning forward, arching into the spine and creating similar back extension to where we were in our Sphinx and Locust. And once you're ready, come on up. Sorry, there you go. And we'll do it again. Inhale, sweeps the arms up high. This time, left elbow to the left hip. You can reach back, taking hold of the foot. And then just draw those knees towards one another. Find your balance and your steadying. And once you're ready, begin to lean forward. Now, if you bend the standing leg, you might find it easier to square the hips so that belly button is still looking down towards the floor. However it works best for you. 1, come on up, shake it out. We're going to try it one more time on each side. Inhale, sweeps those arms up high. Right hand's going to take hold of the right foot. As you're ready, begin to extend, kick back, move into a further expression, and you can always stay small. You can always keep the hands close to the heart. You can always keep the body upright. We don't have to go further into our dancers. on your inhale, come back up. Switch, reach up high, and then left hand, left foot. And we'll begin one more time to try the spinal dancer on the left side. Perfect. Breathe here. On your inhale, come back up. Bringing feet together, shake it out. Exhale, forward fold. And then cross the ankles, come on down to seated. So once we're seated, let's move into some extension of the legs, bringing the legs forward. So we're still going to work a little bit with bringing the hips back into neutral because we did do a lot of hip opening. So let's roll the big toes towards one another and sit up nice and tall and feel as though you've just rolled the whole of your thigh and entire leg towards the midline of the body. We're going to reach those arms up high and exhale, swan dive forward, Paschimottanasana, which was last week's pose of the week. And as we move into the month of April, we're going to spend a lot of time on different seated poses in yoga. So slowly extend those fingers forward. Inhale, come on back up. We're going to roll the shoulders. And today we're really going to take a moment to just look at the difference between an easy seated pose, which is when we cross the legs. And for easy seated pose, both feet would be on the floor and both knees would come out to the side, and they're not going to actually overlap one another. So this is different than crisscross applesauce, which is maybe a seated pose that everybody learned in kindergarten. So notice which one of your legs is in front of this pile. We will do easy seated pose, Sukhasana, in both variations. Go ahead, bring your hands out to the knees. Roll those shoulders back and then begin to hold the knees with the hands. Press the chest forward and allow your elbows to feel as though they're slightly bending back. So this feels like a great long push up your whole back side. All right, lift up. We're going to stay in this same variation of Sukhasana. Or reach the right arm up, bring it over to the left thigh, and twist. Now your back hand could come around the body. It could rest easy on the floor. Feel as though you're continuing to lift, lengthen, and extend all the way up to the very top of your head. And then we're going to counter the twist. So come back, raise the left arm high, bring it to the right thigh, and let's twist the opposite way. Now all of this has been done with the same Sukhasana, with the same leg forward the whole time. We'll switch that in just a moment. Notice your breathing while you're here. Inhale and exhale. And then coming out of the twist, let's roll those shoulders or begin to recross the legs so that there's a new leg in front. Notice if that feels different through your joints, your hip, your knees, your ankles. Maybe one ankle feels bonier than the other. Grab hold hands onto the knees, and then as you begin to lean the body forward, feel a small press back from the elbows so you feel as though your spine is getting as long as it can. come on back up. We're going to start the twist the opposite way. Left arm reaches high, comes over the right thigh. Right hand can either be placed behind you or around you. And the gaze could slowly start to look around the room over your shoulder. And we'll take the counter twist here as well. Coming back, raise the right arm high, bringing it across to the left thigh, twisting the opposite way. And slowly come on out of it. Now we're going to come out of easy seated pose, then swish the legs from side to side. And here, once you're ready, take hold of your knees and we'll roll down onto your back side. So just adjusting on the mat, finding the best place. You could keep holding on to the knees and just rock left and right. And then we're going to place the left foot to the floor, extend the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Now hold on the back of the right thigh and just give a gentle little tug in, bringing the right leg back towards you. Now if you've got a lot of reach here, maybe your hands crawl up and take hold of the calf, or even continue to walk up towards your foot. We want to feel that while you're here, you're not curling your bum up off the floor, that you're not rolling away from the mat, and that the left leg, the knee, is staying angled up towards the ceiling, that it hasn't begun to fall out towards the side. And if it feels good, you could even begin to lift off the upper body, bringing your shoulders, your neck, and your head away from the floor, coming up just a little bit, breathing deeply exactly. And then slowly exhale, come on down, and we'll switch legs, bringing the right foot to the floor and extending the left leg up towards the ceiling. You can start by walking the hands along the back of the thigh, maybe walking them up along towards the calf or towards your foot. And who knows, this might be the leg that is feeling super willing to push back, as if you're bringing your toe towards the wall behind your head. Now, if everything feels good and you want to be a little bit more active, you could begin to peel up from the shoulders. Just mindful that your head doesn't pull you around, that this doesn't cause stress in the neck. Take a moment's breath in, and then slowly come on down. And here we're going to extend both legs up towards the ceiling. And then just allow your hands to slide back down the legs, maybe coming to rest on your belly, and begin to wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. You could reach up for the soles of the feet, begin to bend into the knees, coming to a happy baby. And with happy baby, if you could find a grip that holds the outer edges of your feet, similar to where we were in Costa Rica. But at the end of the day, that doesn't make a huge difference in your pose. You can hold wherever it works. the feet, the ankles. And then finally wrapping the arms around the legs. Give yourself a great big hug, a nice big squeeze. We'll begin to stretch all the way out for Shavasana. You can send the legs far and wide to the front corners of your mat. You can let the arms roll away from your sides. And then begin to soften anything that can be softened. Soften your belly. Soften the muscles of your arms and of your legs. Maybe let your feet roll away from each other, or perhaps there's a bolster tucked underneath them to help alleviate any stretch or pull on your back. Let the fingers curl softly. Come back to the intention that you set for this morning's practice. Finding once again that clear mind. Holding on to only what is valuable to you. Trying to let go of the things that don't serve you well. Then slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Reach the arms out behind your head, stretching. You can roll onto the right or left side. Pause for just a final moment. Thank yourself for taking this time to be here today. Scan through, noticing how things have changed in just this short bit of time. And then once you're ready, come on up to seated, bringing hands to your heart center. Breathing deeply, honoring the light, the strength, the wisdom found within yourself, honoring that found within all beings everywhere. Namaste. All right, folks. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Hope that you enjoyed this morning's practice, and we will look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye.